The U.S. Marshals Service arresting a former leader of USA Gymnastics after hunting him down at a cabin in Tennessee. Authorities accusing him of tampering with evidence in the case against disgraced former gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar.
Overnight, a bombshell arrest related to the Larry Nassar sexual abuse case. Stephen Penny, the former president and CEO of USA Gymnastics, arrested, accused of tampering with evidence related to the Nassar scandal. The district attorney in Walker County, Texas, alleging when Penny learned the once famous training camp for Olympic gymnasts, the Caroli Ranch, was being investigated, he ordered the removal of documents. According to the district attorney, the investigation revealed the documents were delivered to Penny at the USAG headquarters in Indianapolis, Indiana. To date, those records have not been recovered, and the location of the records is unknown.
I must respectfully decline to answer your question.
On Capitol Hill in June, Penny pleaded the Fifth, repeatedly refusing to answer questions by lawmakers about his conduct related to Nassar's sexual abuse. At least one Nassar accuser named Penny during her victim impact statement in January at Nassar's marathon sentencing hearing in a Michigan courtroom.
Steve Penny, you are a coward, resigning from your position to give responsibility to someone else for creating the environment to let this monster thrive.
Nassar is expected to die in prison after pleading guilty to possessing child pornography and molesting 10 girls. But he's accused of assaulting hundreds more. After more than a decade at the helm of USAG, Penny resigned last year under pressure, saying his decision was to support the organization's best interests.
He told me, don't tell anything to anybody.
Savannah spoke to some of the sport's biggest stars back in April, who said Penny urged them to stay silent.
He would just say, please be quiet.
Marta and Bella Caroli, who ran the gymnastics training center in Texas, provided an almost identical account.
He was saying, we're not talking about this.
He said to you, don't talk about it.
Absolutely, yeah.
At the time, Penny told NBC News his intention was to protect the privacy of those involved and that he didn't intend to discourage anyone from speaking to authorities. The Carolis told Savannah no one ever raised concerns with them about Nassar.
Never, ever one single complaint.
Not rumblings, not...
Absolutely nothing.
There's something creepy about that guy?
Absolutely not.
But now Penny, the former president, is accused of trying to cover something up by removing documents from their ranch. And it's just the latest in a string of black eyes for USAG. The organization has gone through 3 leaders since last year. Mary Bono resigning earlier this week after criticism from stars Aly Raisman and Simone Biles. USAG said this week it's committed to a safe and inclusive environment.
Steve Penny is awaiting extradition to Texas right now. If convicted of tampering with evidence, he could face between 2 and 10 years in prison. We have reached out to Penny's attorney for a statement overnight about these charges. We have not heard back. We also have calls out right now to USAG and the U.S. Olympic Committee. Haven't heard back from them. We did reach the Carolis overnight, and they had no comment.
It's a really huge development in this. Continue to watch it, Kate, for us. Thank you.